Okay, so today is our 5th or 6th class? 6th. So today is our 6th class, and I would like to welcome you all to our new class and to our new topic. Okay, today we are going to be discussing on classroom management in educational psychology, strategies for creating an effective learning environment. Okay, and I would really appreciate if you take notes from this class. So I'd really suggest pen and paper on the table quickly. Everyone. Oh, you already have done, many of you. Okay, thank you for that. Okay, so let's start our today's class. Okay, so classroom management. Basically, classroom management refers to a teacher's management of the classroom. I mean, how a teacher manages his or her class and how the teacher manages the classroom and the learning. Okay, so managing means managing the discipline also, and yes, obviously managing discipline is important thing, but managing the learning and the learning outcome from the learners is the most important part here we are going to be discussing. Am I right? Okay, so let's see what has written here. Okay, classroom management refers to the techniques and strategies. Okay, please write that down. Classroom management refers to the techniques and strategies. Techniques and strategies, bold those two words or underline those two words. Come on, do it fast. Pen and paper on the table. Okay, educators use to maintain a productive and orderly learning. Productive and orderly. Underline those two words also. Environment. Environment means basically classroom environment. Within the classroom, how a teacher manages his classroom in order to maintain a productive and orderly learning, and basically the teaching techniques and the strategies a teacher adopt. Basically, those are called combined classroom management techniques. Okay? So, key objectives from today's class. Foster student engagement. Basically, why should we learn and why should we know something about classroom management? Why do we need that? Okay, we need that for fostering students' engagement. That means student engages a lot. Well, some of the critics and some of the psychologists have argued that the classrooms that have more engaged within students, among students, and with the teacher also refer to the more productive classroom and more productive outcome they basically learned. Okay, so basically the more engaged a class, the more productive learning should be happening there as far as the research is concerned. Okay, so promote positive behavior. Basically, we already have talked about that behaviorism class, behaviorism theory. We all know something about behaviorism theory. Yes, we all know that. Great. So positive behavior, that means positive reinforcement. We already have talked about that. Positive reinforcement. Indeed. So positive reinforcement or positive behavior basically foster or propels or accelerate students' learning outcomes. The more positive a behavior can be shown by a student, the more positive result he or she could attain. Okay, so minimize disruption. Disruption means, oh well, that's that one point is basically refers to discipline. Okay, minimize disruption means focus. Okay, basically students are the more engaging and the more crafty teacher or educator, basically they have said, but I would like to say teacher, the more crafty an educator or a teacher could be, the more engaged and the more sensible classroom, the more disciplined classroom he or she can offer. That obviously leads towards better learning outcome. Okay, ensure a safe and inclusive environment. Well, safe means safe in mind. Everyone, please. So, safe means safe in mind. That means everyone in the classroom should feel safety in order to questioning anything, okay? In order to question the teacher anything, he or she should learn or should basically occur in their mind any question regarding the study, obviously. So basically, ensuring a safety in the classroom, teacher basically create an environment where anyone can question any doubt in his or her mind so that the learning could be more productive. Is that clear?
Yes,
Is that clear? Great. Okay. And inclusive means basically inclusion is cosmopolitan thing, that inclusion means whether you are in the first bench, whether you're in the last bench, everyone basically incorporates in one classroom so that we all could learn better. It's not necessarily that whether you have sitting in the first bench, you are learning more than the boy at the last bench. No, it should not be like that. So basically, inclusion means every cultural determinations, everyone in this classroom, whether you are a boy or a girl, or whether you are sitting in the first bench or last bench, everyone is included in the classroom. Okay, so basically by doing that, more or less everyone gets, everything. Okay, so basically that's the key features or key objectives of classroom management, why a teacher needs to have a classroom managed, well managed, so that, okay, by now basically we already have learned that if a teacher is a great manager of a classroom, that the learners of that particular classroom could have done good grades, could have attained good marks also, and could have learned greatly. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Great. Okay, so let's go to the next slide. Okay, theoretical foundations, some theories. Okay, so I want you guys to write those down. Well, some of the theories we already know, that behaviorist theory, reinforcement and punishment shaped by B.F. Skinner, we already know that. We already have done many things on that, behaviorist theory by B.F. Skinner. Okay, so social learning theory by Albert Bandura. Students learn by observing others. Humanistic, okay, well, everyone, please write those down, everyone. Oh, sorry, ma. Oh, I would really suggest if you can go there, please. Go, quickly. Good girl. No, that. Yes, the second batch, yes. Okay, in the examinations, you could have basically answer these things on short notes maybe. So please write those down. Okay, so we already know that behaviorist theory, that means reinforcement and punishment shape behavior and shape our learning. We already have talked about that. That's all on your question papers also, maybe. Okay, social learning theory, we also have talked about that. Students learn by observing others. Others means his fellow mates in the classroom, outside the whole world, the whole society. Yes, we already have talked about that. Okay, humanistic approach by Carl Rogers. Humanistic approach by Carl Rogers. We already have talked about that, but not much. Okay, so now we are going to be talking about that. Emphasizes student needs and self-actualization. Well, humanistic approach basically determines within the human itself. That means every individual, every student has that capacity of individualism. So we need to take it into account that every student is individual and every student needs specific determination and our learning theories actualization. Okay, so that means we should not be doing, we should not be taking into account everyone as one entity. Rather, we will be dealing students individually. That means if he suppose if he does not comfortable with one particular manner. That means, okay, let's talk about that. If I want to make you learn language, okay, English language, suppose. So I want you to learn it by memorizing some grammatical rules, okay. That may be helpful for him, okay. That may be helpful for him, but that may not be helpful for her. See, I'm not basically giving priorities to everyone as one entity. Rather, I am basically giving you the attention individually. Okay, grammar for him and maybe communicative English for her. See, every students are individuals, so that's why we need to take them into account as individuals, okay. So basically that's the humanistic approach that basically emphasizes student needs, what he individually needs, not what the whole classroom basically needs, okay. So, and self-actualization means I need to read the student, I need to learn the student's capacity and his lackings so that I work on him individually. Okay, basically humanistic approach, quite a bit individualism supported. Do you get it, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Great. Okay, cognitive perspective, we already have talked about that, focuses on internal process like attention and memory. Cognitive perspective basically deals with our memory, memorization, basically cramming. Cramming means memorization without actually knowing the fact, and internal process. So that's the least important thing, cognitive perspective. So we should not be talking about that later. Okay, so let's go to the next slide. That's the basic theoretical foundations. 4 theories, 3 of them are important for your exam. 4 of them are important for your learning. 3 of them are important for your exam. See, that's one of the strategies of classroom management. Now I'm basically giving you the real life example in front of you. I am managing this class. How? See, I'm giving you the 4 of them, okay? As we do not have much time, so I gave you 4 of them. 2 of them, we already talked about that and we already learned that, so I'll talk less for 2 of them. That's the one I actually explained a lot. I took a lot of time for that one, and that's one I basically skipped for what? For why? Why? Just because we need not to learn that for our examinations. But yes, if you are interested for that, I already have uploaded this slide, and this slide actually has a reference section, and so that you can know from where I basically made this slide. Basically, obviously from some books. It's not mine. These are not my words. Okay, so I took them from various books, so you can find that out always. Okay, so that's how classroom management really happens in the real world. See the examples in front of your eyes. Am I right? Okay, so let's go to the next slide. Okay, importance of classroom management, we already have talked about that. Enhances academic achievement, promotes emotional well-being. Oh, well, let me be very clear to you guys. Okay, suppose I give this one, write some importance of classroom management for a short note. Please and please and please write within these 4 things, elaborate these things. I'm not just saying write these 4 sentences. Basically, these are not sentences also. These are just fragments. Write those 4 fragments. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm basically talking about write within these 4 fragments, explain these and give examples more and more as you could. Okay, but do not write anything apart from these. Okay. Okay, let's see. For example, importance of classroom management. So in the finals, there's the question, importance of classroom management, and I am writing, promote well-being. Okay, importance of classroom management. There are many importance of classroom management. One of them are it's student friendly. Yes, it's student friendly, but why should I write that? We should not write that because that's very basic. That's not basically the importance of classroom management. Yes, obviously this is student friendly, but in which extent these are student friendly, how they are student friendly, basically these answers have that. Okay, so please as far as my concern and my experience from the midterm examinations of all of your scripts, you guys really disappointed me. I taught you in one particular way and you have written, I do not know from where. Oh my goodness, please do not do that for finals. Will you do that for finals? No. Great. Okay, so importance of classroom management. Enhances academic achievement. Enhances academic achievement of whom? Students. Students. Enhances students' academic achievement. Clear? Elaborate? Give examples? No problem. Okay. Promotes emotional well-being. Promotes emotional well-being of whom? Students. Okay. So if a classroom could be managed well, or if a classroom could manage very well, so that promotes emotional well-being of student. That means a student could get well emotionally by attending that classroom. Is it too hard? Come on, it's not too hard. It's quite easy, isn't it? Okay, so then next, reduces teacher stress and burnout. Well, burnout means, head burnout. That means in Bengali we can call it rag. So reduces teacher stress and burnout. That means if a teacher basically managing the classroom very well, he can take more classes with same effort because it gives him less stress. See, a well-managed classroom, both in academic and in what can I say? Which one that? Discipline. In disciplinary issues. See, everyone. Okay, for example, this classroom. See, everyone very quiet. There's no one sound apart from your teacher's voice. This is very easy to maintain the classroom like this and give you some lectures and give you some knowledge, at least some knowledge, at least trying to give you some knowledge. See, this is very easy. But how that becomes so easy? Basically, I maintain this classroom in that way so that it becomes easier for me and I can deliver it to you more and more so that you can have better compulsion from me. Isn't it? Is that clear? Okay, so reduce teacher stress and burnout. First two for students, third one for teachers. Okay, builds a foundation for lifelong learning. Well, that's for everyone. That's for teachers and students. Because builds a foundation for lifelong learning. See, everyone, we are here basically developing a good gesture that we do not basically make any sound in the classroom. Even if we do have some urgency to make sounds or we just want to talk, but we are not making it. So basically, it is shaping us. It is shaping us in what way? It is shaping us that, yes, if you are in a classroom, you can survive for 1 hour, for 2 hours, for 3 hours also without making a noise. With maintaining a complete silence. Just focusing on teachers' talk, focusing on teachers' production. See, basically it's a habit formation. Okay, basically we are formatting a habit, and we already have gone through for today is our 6th class, so we already have gone through from this behavior total 5 long classes. So that's the habit I can say at least we already have formed. Okay, so that will give us really a boost up for our lifelong learning. So see, that's why importance of classroom management we are here teaching you guys. Is that clear? Okay, so let's go to the next slide, please. Key components of effective classroom management. Okay, there are 5 key components. I want you to write it first, quickly. You do not have much time to write on, quickly. This could come from for your short notes or maybe your broad questions also. Short notes are paragraph structure should be concised within, and broad questions should be concised within essay structure. We already know that. Indeed. You guys are good learners, really, I must appreciate. Am I feeling hot or everyone? Is it my problem or everyone's? Feeling hot? Everyone? Everyone? Should we turn on these ACs? This is warm, huh? This classroom has become warm. Can anyone go outside and tell the boy, please, maintain the temperature? Anyone? Yes, sir.
Building relationship positive. Student support.
Oh, well, yes, maybe. Support, no, rapid. Maybe there's a word means rapid. Please go Google it. Quickly. Or that could be a typo. Please Google it first. This one. There's no typo. Okay, so basically key components of effective classroom management for teacher. Basically this one is for teachers. Why an effective classroom should be managed, in which way that would help a teacher. Okay, first one, establishing rules and procedures. So if you establish rules and procedures, clear and consistent expectations. Well, remember my first class, I set some ground rules, and you guys for the today's sixth class, 6 long classes, you guys have been abiding by these rules. Remember, in first class we set some rules, some ground rules. No talking, no sounds. You need not to get any permission to go to the washroom. Remember those? That's a technique for classroom management. See, establishing rules and procedure. In order to take a classroom, first go there and set some rules up. First, exact first. First of all, you have to go there and please do not start teaching them. Do not start teaching your students. No. First, establish some rules and procedures. How I am going to take the class, how I'm going to record the class, how I'm going to talk off the record, how I'm going to talk on the record. I have established everything at the first class. Remember that?
Yes.
That's basically effective classroom management course. Basically, I already learned this course from my university, so I know how to manage a class. Basically, these are the live examples in front of you. Come on. I'm not basically teaching you from this slide, I'm teaching you from me. Come on, watch and learn from me also. Okay, establishing rules and procedures, first thing. Second, most importantly, if this question occurs in your examinations, please remember, everyone, listen to me very carefully. Listen to me very carefully, everyone. If this question occurs in your question paper, you have to write this synchronizingly. That means number 1 is first, number 2 is second. You have to maintain the serial number, the order. You have to maintain the serial and the order, because this one is first, this one is second. Okay, so first one gone. Second one, building relationships, positive teacher-student rapid. That means a teacher-student relationship should be born. That means, well, you can ask me, sir, what have you done to maintain that second strategy? I have maintained one thing, that I welcome questions. I really welcome questions. Anyone can ask me any question regarding the study, no problem of it. Not only this class, I also take many classes apart from this. So there also I took that decision. Okay, building relationships. So my strategy was I would let students ask anything. I would let my students ask me anything. Okay, so positive teacher-student rapid. Okay, done. Number 3, classroom layout, optimizing physical space for learning. Well, that's the reason why in front of camera I stand here properly, so that this could be recorded and that could be uploaded to YouTube, and that could help you. And after that, I do not stand here. See, do you remember? I just walk around there and here, so that the last bench boy could get my voice as equal as the first bench boys are. See, these are the techniques I also use. Come on. So classroom layout is important. Layout and the techniques, where are you standing, why are you standing there, how long you are going to be standing there, how long you're going to be standing there. Okay, so time management also, we know how long we should record the class, recording, and how long we should be talking off the record. We already know that. Okay, and positive reinforcement. Positive reinforcement, basically that's the overview of everything. Positive reinforcement means doing positive things, encouraging desired behavior. Well, I do that, obviously. I really appreciate some behaviors. Well, that means positive reinforcement. What do I do in order to maintain that? I tell you one thing: pen and paper on the table. So you guys all have pen and paper on the table. You can take notes. So that's basically positive reinforcement. Basically, I'm enforcing you to write something from this class. See, each of the 5 things, I already take these into account and apply these on this real life situation, real life classroom. So it's not only bookish things, there are some things that I already do for your classes in front of your eyes. Am I clear? Okay, so next topic. Establishing rules and expectations. Okay, how should we do that? Examples, rules: respect others' opinion, raise your hand to speak, be prepared and on time. Well, you guys could write that, please write that. Well, these are some rules. These are some rules. Well, one more important thing before writing, please listen to me. These are some rules and these are some work, basically everyone, universally, teachers or the teacher trainers basically set some rules that if these rules are applied by you, then your classroom, we can say, or we can expect your classroom to be managed very well. Apart from these, you can also make your own rules. See, I also made my rules. Some of my rules have made by me only. Number 1, no need to take permission to go to the washroom. And you do not, I'm not saying you do not speak, I'm saying you do not make a noise. You can speak if you can speak without making any noise. See, that's my rule. But there are some rules you will be writing now, and you will be understanding some universal rules that some teachers and some teacher trainers basically expect from you, so that your classroom could be managed very well. They at least expect it. Okay, so these are some universal rules. That doesn't mean that you cannot have your own rule. You can always have your own rule, but in the examinations you will not write your own rule. See, that's why basically I'm talking about that. In the examinations you will not write on your own rule, but you can have your own rule. You can implement your own rule to your classroom, but not in the examinations. In the examinations you will be writing these rules only. Okay, these rules only. Yes, obviously not these fragments. You will be writing elaborative things. You will be giving examples, okay, for the big questions, for the small questions, but do not go beyond these rules. Am I clear? Am I understandable to you?
Yes, sir.
Great. Okay, see, okay, write it down fast, quickly. What rules and expectations? Some rules are respect others' opinion. That means if your student is disagreeing with you, that means yes, okay, you have that room, you have that space to disagreement, no problem. Okay, raise your hand to speak. Okay, do not speak abruptly. First raise your hand, then if you are allowed to speak, then you speak. Okay, be prepared and on time. Well, we have to be on time in the class and very well prepared. Okay, so strategies for success: involve students in the rule creation, communicate rules clearly, consistently enforces rules. Well, basically these are the rules, and rules should be maintained. Well, involve students also. Definitely we have to involve students in the rules, so otherwise who will be abiding by the rules? Okay, communicate rules clearly. Yes, at the first class I set some ground rules and delivered it to you very clearly. There's no ambiguity. There's nothing hedging. Very clear cut. We say in Bengali, clear cut rules. Very clear cut. Okay. Consistently enforces rules. Well, that's the important thing. Do not put yourself out of these rules, even you also. And you have to consistently enforce the rule. I mean, every day, every minute, every second, enforce. Okay? Okay, so classroom layout environment, physical arrangement, classroom layout and environment, why it is important to manage a class. We already know that. We already talked about that, haven't we? Yes. Okay, so now let's get into some elaborations. Physical arrangements. Desk in cluster to encourage collaboration. See, here we can sit, one person in one seat so that we can have a communication with each other. See, but do you remember in the school or in the colleges, we used to sit in the benches, high bench, low bench, desks maybe, benches most commonly. So those classrooms were not very friendly to communicate to each other. Students' communication was disrupted. Basically, you can communicate to your bench students only. But now we can move our chairs and we can have a round table discussion. We can have a round discussion. We can change the layout of this classroom because we have only one person sitting on a seat, on the seat maybe, on the seats maybe. So that's why classroom layout and the classroom sitting positions of the students are very important. So that's why layout and environment management we are teaching. Okay, desk in cluster to encourage collaboration. So in cluster, just like this desk, really encourage collaborations and really encourage your teacher to have a discussion with you. We can have a round discussion right now. Okay, our classroom basically designed in that way. Okay, clear pathways for movement. Yes, we need clear pathways for movement. So basically, just suppose she is writing something or she is understanding very clearly some words of your teacher, and maybe the last bench boy wants to go to the washroom, but if she sits on his pathway, so basically he maybe will ask her, please side, or please give me some room. So her expectations or her attention, yeah, that's right, her expectations and attention and her exact qualifications would be disrupted. Okay, so that's why clear pathways are more important. Okay, designated spaces for groups and independent work. Well, that's what we actually talked about. We can maintain the classroom, we can change the layout of this classroom as we do not have those heavy benches. Instead of those heavy benches, we have single seats, so we can change the layout anytime. That's what basically talking about at the third point. Okay, decors and atmosphere. Decors and atmosphere, basically, see, we have enough lightings, we have camera, we have microphone. These are basically apart from decors and atmosphere. We have ACs so that, okay, we some moments ago, we felt some warm. Now it feels okay, the temperature is okay. See, that's what atmosphere is important. Okay, you use visual aids and student work displays. See, we are displaying this thing on a multimedia TV. See, that's what visual aids. I can give you this slide. Well, I already have uploaded it. So suppose we do not have any TV in this class. Would that be very effective for us? No, come on. No, obviously not, because we haven't that multimedia, so you cannot have those visual aids. Okay? Okay, ensure proper lighting and minimal distractions. Well, we do not have much distractions as we have glasses here, lightings, enough lightings, no problem. Maybe some noises from this AC. That could be, a problem. Maybe that could be serviced. Okay, servicing needed by this AC maybe. See, disruptions are not allowed, and enough lighting is very much appreciated. Okay, So strategies for positive behavior management. Positive behavior management is one of the most important part for your understanding. Okay, reinforcement, verbal praise, great job, staying focused. See, I usually use one thing. Am I correct? Am I right? Have you understood it? See, I already asked from you. Why? Reinforcement. Basically, I reinforce that you have understood. Are you with me? Well, if you are clever enough, you could know who does that very much. I mean, who does that very frequently? A profession in where, apart from teaching, does that very frequently? Can you say who does that very frequently? Who wants his audience to talk with him very much, interact with him or her very much? Come on, it's very easy. Concert singers want that. They used to talk, are you with me? Come on, sing with me. Everyone. See, concert singers does that very much. You have to keep an open mind. Come on, everywhere there's an education. Okay, reinforcement means verbal praises and reward systems, stickers, extra recess time. Basically, rewards, we are not here in the mid schools or the elementary schools. We are the tertiary level of education. So we need not to have stickers and extra recess time, but we need marks, okay? Attendance marks and presentation marks, okay? That's the reinforcement. Okay, redirection, gently guide students back on task. Well, give student task and take them reports, okay? Take the reports from the students so that students are on time beyond deadline, okay? So examples, I see you are talking, let's refocus on the assignment. See, the one thing I usually do, everyone listen to me very carefully. That's one is redirection. Yes, you guys, sometimes you guys could talk, sometimes you guys could, derive from the pathway. That's when I talk. Everyone listen to me very carefully. And then you guys actually shook up your head and listen to me very carefully. Started listening to me very carefully. Okay, so that's what redirection means. Okay, restorative practices encourage conflict resolution through dialogue. Example, how did this action affect others? See, if you one or two of the students here, well, these are basically the strategies from mid schools or elementary school students there when they basically fight with each other and they bite each other. But we are all adult learners. We do not have those problems to be resolved. We do not have that problem. Yes, we have other problems, and maybe some of the students at other batches could done one thing in the cricket match. They started fighting, so never mind, that's another issue. But usually we do not do fightings because we are adult learners. Okay, so that's what restorative practices means. Okay. Okay, managing disruptive behaviors. How do we manage disruptive behaviors? It's very important, everyone. It's very important for elementary students. It's very important for elementary students because they are disruptive. They are doing disruptive behaviors very frequently. Yes, you guys could do disruptive behaviors. Some time ago, she has done something. Okay, never mind. Okay, now also. So, proactive measures. So, you as a teacher, you have to take proactive measures. Teach self-regulation techniques. Well, these are some techniques basically used to teach the elementary level school students. Okay, basically they are very disruptive, they are very naughty, they are very noisy. So these are some techniques would be helpful for them to manage your class. Okay, if you are taking a class for standard 4, standard 5, standard 3, then you could really understand. Okay, teach self-regulation techniques. That means you have to teach your students self-regulation, that okay, do not lie. Lying is a bad habit. Lying is punishable offense to God. Lying is a punishable offense to God. These self-regulation technique. Okay, implement clear consequences for disruption. Well, you will be delivering that. If you talk in the class, I will punish you. I will punish you by giving you extra homeworks. See, punishment and clear cut speech. If you do that again, I'll be calling your parents. See, then he or she won't be doing that. Okay, example scenarios. Disruption. A student interrupts in the class, responses calmly address the behavior. Please wait your turn to speak. So basically they are the examples of students giving, or the educators want to teachers to learn. Okay, so these are some techniques and these are some examples. I already gave you the examples. Okay, so let's go to the next slide. Encouraging students' engagement, interactive techniques, group discussions and peer teaching. We already have talked about that at other slides, haven't we? Yes, we already have, I know. Group discussions and peer teaching, basically interactive techniques. That means you, in order to maintain an interactive class, you need peer discussion, group discussion, group mates, pair mates. Okay, these kinds of things. Hands-on activities and real-world applications. Yes, you can go somewhere with your students. I mean, if you teach history, then you could go to a zoo or a museum. Yes, you can go to a zoo or a museum so that they could learn those practically. They could learn those practically and they could not make noise like those two girls. Okay, so science lessons, conduct a simple experiment. Yes, science classes, in order to explain scientific theories very clearly, teachers used to make science experiments in the classroom. Okay, so basically that is encouraging students' engagement. Okay, so use of technology, educational apps and gamified learning platforms. Okay, if you want to teach ABCDs in the classroom, maybe for playgroup or nursery students, so just play a YouTube video from A, B, C, D, E, F, G, so that they can learn it by singing, by playing. Okay, studying by playing. Okay, so role of emotional intelligence. Well, emotional intelligence is also important. Okay, emotional intelligence is also important to manage the classroom. So how? Understanding students' emotion, recognize and validate feelings. Yes, recognize and validate feelings. See, there's a girl in this classroom used to, talking very much. So I need to understand her emotions also. Maybe she's, bare belly. That means she hasn't taken her breakfast today. Maybe he hasn't slept the night yesterday. Maybe. That's why he's sleepyhead. Maybe she has some irritations within her. How could I know? Maybe her feet is hurting. Maybe her shoe is hurting her feet. So I have to understand everyone's emotion as a teacher. Okay, that's why maybe he may be sleeping, she is maybe talking for that reason, or maybe any other reason there are. Okay, so that's why understanding students' emotions are important. Okay. So, I see you are upset, let's talk about it. I see you are talking, let's not talk about it. Okay, so recognize and validate the feelings. Okay, in order to maintain a classroom, manage a classroom, you have to validate other students' feeling. Okay, teachers' emotional regulation, stay calm and composed during conflicts. Okay, in order to take a class, as a teacher, you have to be very calm and composed, very calm, because there could be anything happen. But you have to stay calm. Even if she is talking, I have to stay calm, isn't it? Am I right? Sorry, I cannot hear you. The girl? Am I right? Sorry, sir, I cannot hear. Come on, say it louder. Yes, great. So says calm and composed during those haphazards. Benefits, builds trust and empathy. That's how we can build trust to each other, and the teacher-student relationship could get better and better. Okay, so that's the role of emotional intelligence. Cultural responsibilities and classroom management. Well, that's one of the most important thing. Not in our context, it's very much important in the outside. That means outside, abroad context, in a New York or a London or Washington, there are some classrooms there. Every part of this world, they have their students. Some Americans, some Indians, some Japanese, some Chinese. So cultural responsiveness in the classroom, and the teachers are there. One more thing, they really have one more thing to do. They have to accommodate everyone, every culture. There may be someone wears niqab, and there may be someone wears shirt, and maybe shirtless also. See, everyone should be accommodated by the teacher. That's really very hard one, because every culture there, every culture is good. I mean, every culture should be validated. Okay, so recognize diversity. That's one I'm talking about. Recognize diversity. Every culture, every diversity should be recognized. Incorporate students' cultural backgrounds into the curriculum. Examples, celebrating cultural holidays. We, in that case, in their region, they celebrate Eid, they celebrate Puja, they celebrate Christmas, everything from for everyone. Okay, avoid biasness. Teachers, basically that's for teachers. Avoid biasness. I cannot be biased whether you wear a niqab, a veil, or you wear a shirt, or you wear anything, or even if you do not wear, minimal things. See, a teacher could not be biased. Okay, adapt strategies, tailor approaches to meet diverse needs. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. A teacher needs to work more on that region so that he or she could conduct the class very well. Okay, so monitoring and reflecting on management practices, self-assessment, that's for teachers. Reflect on what strategies work well and which need adjustment. Well, there are some strategies that it's not Bible, it's not biblical, that there's a strategy and we need to adopt these for long years. No, you need to assess those strategies, and if, well, I already talked about that. I already have talked about that. Okay, let's finish the class first. So, reflect on what strategies work well, on which needs adjustment, gather feedbacks, use surveys or informal discussion with students. Okay, so after the recording happen, I will have an informal discussion with you guys also. Okay, continuous improvement. Basically, there are room from continuous improvement. Okay, so if you need to improve yourself, then you have to assess you and take feedbacks and reinforce it. It's for teachers also. Okay, so monitoring and reflecting on management practices. Okay, case study example. There are case study, a class with high levels of task behavior. Off-task behavior means, they do not want to task anymore. They do not want to read or write. They want task. They want to play. They want to sing. Okay, implemented a token economy system, held weekly meetings on discussed class goals. Well, in order to maintain that class, you have to take more effort, you have to give more effort, you have to take regular meetings at the weekends also. Okay, so outcome, improve focus and collaboration. Maybe by managing your classroom, you could make a student even better. You could make an unattentive student an attentive students. Okay, so basically that's why we need classroom management, and we need a teacher to make this thing happen. Okay, so lesson learned, consistency and student involvement are the key. Consistency, that means in order to get good, in order to get better, you have to be a consistent person, and your students should rely on you, and you also should rely on your students. It's a reciprocal thing. Okay, so conclusion and references, that's the end of today. Conclusion, effective classroom management enhances both teaching and learning experiences. That's one of the most important thing in the conclusion I want you to write in your exam scripts. Okay, continuous learning and adaptation are essential. Continuous learning and adaptation. There are some references from where I make this slide today. Okay, so that's the end of today's class. Thank you, and please turn off the record.